You go back home. What's it like for you? How do you mend the pieces? I mean, my heart goes out to you. I know people say understand. No, you don't. I could never understand what you've gone through, but my heart goes out to you that you had the strength to endure, overcome, and still triumph. So you get home, your husband sees you. How do you guys pull the pieces back together? How do you
Oh,
make the family back strong again?
it's really it takes work. That wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Fortunately for me, I married a jewel, and I know I keep bringing this up, but
Brown sugar.
yeah, I married a jewel. I remember, I'm gonna be honest with you. I remember he was bathing me because I had to be clean. All those sores, all those things, all my wounds had to be cleaned daily when I got out the hospital. And it takes hours to do that. And he would do this kind of stuff before he went to work to make sure I was clean and together. He took care of me. And I remember sitting there looking at him and wondering, what does this man, in my mind, I didn't say anything, think of me now? How can he look at me now? And it was as if he could read my mind. And I'll never forget, he looked me dead in my eye and he said, "You are the most beautiful thing I've ever laid eyes on," and kissed me on my forehead. And I'm gonna be honest, I was okay after that. I didn't care what nobody thought after that. And I made an error. Here's an error I made. All the emphasis was on me and Benjamin because we carried the outer scores. Not a lot of emphasis was put on the other boys who carried all of the inner scores. And that didn't come out until about maybe 3 or 4 years later.
How did that come out with the other
It
boys?
came out with my oldest son, it came out in rebellion. The hurt, the pain he felt from losing, quote unquote, his twin. Both of my boys had their twin. I had this game where, Amos was Jonathan's twin. You're going to make sure your baby's okay. You're going to check on him. You're going to, his bottle and Joseph. And I made it a game, but they was actually helping mama out.
Right.
But they're like their father. They're extremely responsible young men. And even at the fire, Jonathan, they told me it took about 5 to 6 adults to pin him down because he was going in that fire to get his baby, his responsibility. So he felt God had betrayed us and he just went off on a tangent. And it took years, literally, for him to recover from that and for us to get through that. But I'm convinced if we had tapped into what he was going through, what he was dealing with earlier, it wouldn't have got as bad. My second son, Joseph, he just one day we were having a family movie night. We like doing that. Having one tonight, by the way. But anyway, we have a family movie night. It's just one of the things we do. Even with my grown children, I do it.
Right.
Grandkids, I do it. But he said, just all of a sudden said, "I'm a coward." And I'm like, what the what? Who told you that? I'm all ready to jump on somebody. And he said, "Remember the fire." So he was dealing with severe survivor guilt because he was comparing himself to Jonathan, who ran in to get his twin. And he said, "I only saved myself." I'm like, "You're 7. You're only supposed to save yourself," that type of thing. And then the third son, of course, he got teased a lot because he was burned badly on his ears, and I was in the schools and the people were teasing him about me. So we had to go through all of that. And I had to go through my own personal thing. Now, mind you, I'm dealing with all my kids and their hurts, their pains. I'm dealing with my own injuries. But what overshadowed all of that was the loss of that son. That was something to get through. And I say it all the time. People say, and people, especially stupid people, and I'm sorry to be blunt like that, they'll make a statement like, "Have you gotten over that yet?" What are you talking about?
You don't get over it.
No, no, you don't get over. You get through. You learn to adapt with that pain.